Hello, my name is Andrew Grant, and I'm the new lead of dog behavior and socialization here at the Seattle Humane. The purpose of this presentation today is to introduce to you the new dog behavior and counter conditioning protocols we've recently implemented. So in the following, I'm going to give you an overview of reactive behavior in general, what desensitization and counter conditioning is in the two most common forms of leash reactivity we see. So as most of you may already know, dog reactivity is not dog aggression. They're not the same. Reactivity is when a dog overreacts towards a certain thing, whether it be a noise, other dogs, or people, and it's just a previously bad experience the dog had associated with that trigger. To put it in a nutshell, reactivity is a fear, and we can and have to counter-react that fear. So let's talk about desensitization and counter-conditioning. So simply put, it's a way of addressing fear and reactive behavior. The moment a dog reacts towards a certain type of trigger, such as another dog, is what we call a conditional emotional response, or CER. So when all of us are working with shelter dogs, we need to make sure we work them sub-threshold. We will use treats to build positive association to that trigger. So now with leash reactivity is the main form of reactivity we see here within the Seattle Humane. Specifically, the two forms are Tarzan dogs and proximity reactive dogs. So Tarzan dogs are dogs that lack social etiquette, and proximity reactive are dogs that are uncomfortable with another dog being within their own safe zone. So with either one of these, we can use different counter conditioning methods to treat the leash reactivity. So with Tarzan dogs, they simply lack basic obedience. They are very motivated to meet other dogs, and they pull a lot on the leash. The more the dog pulls on the leash, the more uncomfortable the owner is, and this results in frustration within the dog and the owner itself. So with proximity reactivity, we see that very often at the Seattle Humane. It's dogs that will react very strongly to other dogs. The reacting dog, it might growl or air snap or even lunge at the trigger or the other dog, and it's a behavior that it develops slowly over time. So now for Tarzan dogs, we will use basic obedience training to counter condition. We will practice sit, stay, and down. And then we will practice with distractions in place. We will only get closer to that distraction once the Tarzan dog remains calm. The goal here is to develop into loose dog leash walking. So to counter condition proximity reactive dogs, we want to use high value treats such as cheese or chicken, hot dogs, etc. The goal is to build a positive association with that trigger. If the trigger is a dog, we will use a really calm and passive dog. The goal is to associate good things with that trigger until ultimately leading into calm dog to dog interactions. So to sum it all up, as you all know, reactive behavior decreases the chance of a dog being adopted here, and we don't want that. Since we know the most shelter dogs are Tarzan and proximity reactive dogs, we can use the right training methods we talked about today to decrease their reactivity levels. So to do this, we're going to do 3 15-minute sessions daily with each dog, and then you will document the progress of the dog's reactivity levels so we can chart that. That's all we had here today. If you have any questions, please ask, and thank you for your time.